Hey dudes, what up homies? On this episode of Growing Up Dandy, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the music that was in my life as a child. Growing up, there was a lot of music in my life, clearly. I mean, we were a musical family. I mean, my dad wasn't ever not a musician. So music was everywhere my whole life growing up. But there's one musician that stands out in particular as like the end all be all of who my dad listened to. If we were in the car or going anywhere or traveling, and we traveled a lot because when we lived in Black Oak, there literally was nothing anywhere. So you had to travel at least, 40 to 50 miles to get literally anywhere. If you wanted to go to Jonesboro, it was 35 minutes. If you wanted to go to Memphis, it was like 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how you drove. So you spent a lot of time in the car when you lived in Black Oak if you wanted to go do anything at all. So we heard a lot of music. Dad hated the radio, absolutely hated it. So there was always a tape, a sweet ass tape of Robbie Robertson in the tape deck. That was Dad's number one around me. I remember being in the car and hearing that Robbie Robertson solo album like a cajillion times, like so many times. I remember swearing to myself that as an adult, I would never force my kids to listen to music. I remember like looking out the window and being like, I swear to God, if I have to hear Robbie Robertson one more time, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. I remember like literally having these like flip out moments of like not wanting to ever hear a single note from that album or his voice ever again. And then hysterically, years and years and years and decades later as an adult, I was living with my best friend Sarah in Baltimore, and we were in a record store, and there it was. It was a 12-inch record of that Robbie Robertson solo album that my dad so obsessively and religiously played my entire childhood. And I was like, holy shit, I gotta get that, just based on the nostalgia of it for me. And I hadn't heard it in literally that long, like since I was a grown up, since I had grown up. I popped that bad boy on, and turns out it's pretty fucking good. So I just find that totally hilarious that as a kid, I hated it more than the Boogeyman. But as an adult, I'm like, oh shit, that shit slaps. It's a banger. So anyway, I know it's a short little tidbit of my upbringing, but my dad was literally like Robbie Robertson's number one fan when I was growing up. So I heard a shitload of that record. All right, until next week, dudes. Peace.